Hi and welcome to another video of Dad's RC Hangar. We are still building the J3 Navy Cub. It's been about a week or so since I've done our last video, just had massive work. But today we're going to get into building the undercarriage and attach it to the fuselage. Get my teeth in. We're going to attach them to the plane and hopefully we'll put the wing struts in, and then we can start building the wing and start getting some electronics. So this is part 4 of the build, I believe. Let's get to it. Okay, here we go. So I'll just take that off. So here is all the parts you're going to need. They're all in several packs. So you've got the landing gear bar, or 2 Oreos. These are like they say cub. As you see that, I suppose they go into there. So 2 of those, 2 fat springs, 2 little springs. These have actually got two. Oh, these have actually got 2 different kind of ends. I don't know if you can see that. There's a big one, and then on the other end there's a little one. So not sure what all that's about. Anyway, we've got some heat shrink, so that's to put round the springs, I believe. There is like a little T-bone. I think it's not a T, but you know, a centre thing. And 2 of these rods. Now, I did look at these, and when I was getting them out, and the holes are pretty ganked up. So, got a little. Where are we? We've got a little drill bit. As I say, I need to invest in the little model drill bits. But for now, I'm just going to sort of hand these through. So yeah, some yellow gunk, I don't know what that's all about. Someone's been clearing out their ears with it or something. So that one's got one. And this has got one. That's pretty good. And these you can't really see because this doesn't zoom in very well, but the holes, it's just like, you know, if you ever had an Airfix kit or some other model kit, bits of plastic still stuck in there from the die. I mean, if you wanted to, you could go really to town and just get a blade and tidy them up. I must admit, on this particular model, it's going to be my training model, so I'm going to still love it to bits, but I'm not going to give the pristine and as you may do with other models. These are it's quite fat. Oh right, okay, so I've just figured out where the fat. So let me get my drill. Say, oh, there you go. It's not a robot, it's my drill. So let's get these little. Oh, it's not in there properly, is it? No, it's still not in there properly. This is why you shouldn't have a big drill with a small drill bit. So let's just get that a bit of a. There you go. Holes are all good. Now these big bits must be for the big holes. For the big loops. This is a really crappy camera, so I'm sorry, but there's a big loop at one end. So that must go on there. Now you can tighten these with a pair of pliers. But let's get it together first before we start going. Right, okay, so there we go. 2 little legs, pop it. And then you got, these are the same size, so they must go into there and into here. Alright, so we end up with kind of a, we'll crimp them up, kind of like a little man thing going on, a little dancer, you know. So now I was just playing about with these earlier, thinking, you know, what way do they go? I know that to be the bottom, so it screws into the fuselage. Fuselage. I can't say that word today. Fuselage. Who knows? Now you need to pop this in. I don't know if there's an easy way of doing it. Maybe if I get some pliers. Yeah, it just pushes in there like that. It's a nice fit actually. How far they go, I don't know. I think actually if I push that down, in fact let's take it out. So if you look there at the end, I think that's where it should be sitting, right there, right on the bend. Okay, we'll see. You know, what's the worst going to happen? The wheels will fall off. So that's a nice tight fit. See what I'm looking at the end there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's still a bit of a gap there. Yeah. So if anyone's got a decent camera I can record with, going cheap because they've got a super duper one, let me know. This one's a bit rubbish. Zoom in. Oh, here we go. Right, so if you can see that, if I go down here, it's now flush. Now we can put some hot glue along this later on to keep it so it doesn't fall off. So let's just put this other one here. So if you sort of tuck it in at the neck, pull down, yeah, put it down, push it down, put it down, whatever you want to do, and then just sort of push that in. This one's not such a tight fit, but that's good. So we end up with something like that. Doesn't look very balanced out, does it? There you go. Okay. Right. What's next? Now these do hook on to here, I believe. There is maybe a neck. Maybe they just push on, or does it? I think it's the outside. I'm not sure if it's the inside or outside they go on. Is it like that? It might be like that. Maybe. So they've got to sit like that. So I'm wondering if they push in and then pull down. There you go. That's it there. Let's see. Wow. So okay, so if you didn't see that, these have got little, you can see that there, hole there, and then there's got a little flat piece. Stupid camera. Got a little flat piece. So if the flat piece, so you kind of like have to roll it round. So if we just push that on the bar, you can see that, and then push it down, it kind of slots in. I hope you can see that. Can you see that? Hopefully you can. But you'll get it anyway. If you get this, you'll see. Oh yeah, I know what it means. A little kind of square piece, or rectangle, that slots in the top, and that slots around. It kind of locks it in. That's pretty cool, actually. It's good thinking. One thing I didn't think about is these holes. Probably drilling too big of a hole, but hey ho. I'll probably regret it later on. Maybe. Who knows? Now they say that that you can have this heat shrink. Whether it's just because it's close to the bottom of the plane, maybe, and that you can put the heat shrink round there, and then obviously you heat it. And but I might leave it off. I might leave it off. You don't see heat shrink on the original plane, so why have heat shrink on this one? You're laughing, saying, "Oh dear, we can see another video coming." So I'm going to hook these onto here. We'll try to. So let's get them the right way around. Yeah, okay, so that hooks onto there. No, that's not the right way around, Chris. Let's go that way. There we go. I have to find some sort of music to play in the background, you know. Be careful with YouTube because you're to the rights of other people's music. Maybe I'll make my own, just throw something at a piano and record it and loop it. What do you reckon? Rather than me doing. Okay, I'm sure I could probably do it with pliers in these holes, but I don't want to stretch it. So you just have to stick it in the hole. Push it around until it falls in. We're having some fun. In it goes, right, okay. Wing. Now I believe these go onto the outside, I think. In them, so get him in there. Oh wow. Maybe they go on the inside, maybe the outside. Pretty fun to put them in there. Wow. There we go. Right, so the outside. Whether they do go there or not, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And look at that. There you go. Now I hope you saw me doing that. I love that. Boing. Trampoline. So, you know, we can go around and we can snip these so they don't fall off. But I believe that is how it works. And the wheels, little Oreos, go on like so. So then how do these go on when there's not enough thread there? Oh boy. It doesn't fit in there, does it? Oh, it does, right, okay. Divvy. Right, okay, so you've got the spoked wheel part, which I thought would be the outside because it looks funky. Goes towards the end of the axle, like whatever, it's all pinging off and everything, okay. I think we kind of screw that on through. Get that little Oreo in, there we go, boom. Then we stick the tab, I think that just push that round till it catches the screw. And this, yep, it does, but I need the little arm that's come across, there you go. Right, so you do see a bit of screw coming out there, and then this just screws on. Hence why I said we put some hot glue on here so it doesn't move about, but I didn't want to do that until we were happy with the actual undercarriage. This does screw on, but I think it's just you've got to self-tap, which means the screw has got to screw itself into the plastic to stop the wheels falling off. Right, okay, so what we do if kind of hold it. In fact, no, you can't. Oh dear, that's toughy. Maybe. Tell you what we're going to do. I'll tell you what will make much more sense. So I don't know what we're doing, so bear with. So let's take the Oreo back off, and then what I think we'll do is that we'll get this screwed in first, so it makes like a nice little thread, is it? No, the outside's the thread. I don't know what the internal one you'd call thread. I suppose it's still a thread. Okay, and then so nice and slow, so you're not melting it, because obviously friction creates heat. Heat will melt plastic. That's your science lesson for today. Stick that back in there again. The paint's coming off there, but whatever. I'm sure the plane's going to see a lot more scrapes, unfortunately. I do like, you know, I mean, the money's money. You know, so I've got to still treat it, but, you know what I mean. Okay, so this, with its nice little thread that we made, he says, should go in. If I can just hold the wheel and kind of turn it, kind of put your thumb on there and turn it with, we should feel in a minute where it stops its thread, and this gets a bit tight, so we'll just come back a bit. There you go, a bit more. Let's be a bit cool about this and have the logo horizontal, vertical, horizontal. I keep getting them mixed up. Anyway, look at that lovely wheel. So we'll do the same with the other one. So we've got a little end stop again, and now we know what we did before. So once again, push it in, try make sure it's straight when you're doing this. Take your time, not a rush. Okay, then feed it on. Now you can do this quickly because it's kind of melting itself in there as well, so it's making a nice thread. Okay, and then slowly come back out because we want to dissipate that heat. Leaves us with this nice thread. Now what you could do, you could put some nylock or some other stuff on here, because I can't, see the actual wheels being taken off, because you're not going to get a flat tyre unless your plane lands and you've got some animal that suddenly wants to run towards the plane and start chewing your tyre off. Who knows? Or maybe you might get like some sort of fairy animal in your hangar, and it takes a liking to the big fat Oreo. Then you probably have to get the wheel off. I know they do sell spare wheels, so hey, who knows? So maybe not Loctite it, otherwise you'll end up buying a new undercarriage. A bit too tight, so pull back a bit, get it so my cub is kind of level, and I reckon that's ready for a good landing. That's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. It's pretty good. As I say, we can I'll probably take some more time off camera, poodling about as I do, because I don't think I need to show you. But basically, I'm going to put some hot glue down here, down on the bars, so it kind of closes that off. So I know these get screwed in, but if we take this off, you don't want to start falling about in the field. So we've got some hot glue there. Now, for those of you that I'm sure know what hot glue is, this is my super duper glue gun. I got this off Amazon. It's really cool. It's got the temperature settings. Looks like a bit of a ray gun. If you're old and like me, it looks like something out of Space 1999. Well, it actually doesn't, because that was a double gun. But hey, you know what I mean. Then these little glues, they stick in the back, like so. And then when it's heated up, you squeeze this. Keep the clip on so you can sit it down. You squeeze this and the glue melts in here. Now this becomes really, really hot. So if you've never used a glue gun and you've never seen this before, I'm sure there's many people have, then don't touch that. It's hot and it burns. And the glue is very hot as well. But anyway, don't want to teach you how to suck eggs if you know what I'm talking about. So when this is hot, I'll just put a bead down here and a bead down there to keep this together. Can't see it coming apart, but you never know. You could always put a bead on the end of the spring to keep the springs in the holes. I mean, it's not very springy. I think it's more of aesthetics and keeping it looking scale, because the original has all these kind of things in, I believe. I have to have a look. But we're ready to stick this on the fuselage anyway. Okie dokie. So, turn down the lights a bit so it's not blared in your face. Move the camera. So the whole assembly we just did actually pops in this little slit. Slit. So, oh boy. Sorry for young viewers if you're out there. Now, how far does that go? It actually pushes right down, I think. Let's get a pair of pliers and push it right in. It's a slim, it's a tough bit. And then, somewhere, I did have a little pack somewhere, and I've probably dropped it on the floor. And me, or did I put it back in my little box? It's always good to have a separate box when you're building things, so you can put everything in there and not lose it. So you got this little pack. It's got a little long piece and 3 screws. So this actually fits in here in the little slit somehow, like so. I mean, maybe you could, I don't know how deep that goes, don't want to break it, but if you keep pushing on it, that holds the wheels. Now these don't actually go, these might need to be moved down a bit away from the plane. But in there you've got these straps. Now I'm going to turn the plane around without hitting everything that's behind it, and like so, you can see that just about, I think. I'll move the plane back a bit. Okay. Right, so you've got these struts that actually fit on, these parts fit on the wing, and this, you can see that little flat area fits underneath in this little slot there, and then this screws down on it. Now it's a bit of a bend, so, but apparently that's what it does. Now I've got these little screws and they look a bit too little, so I'm not sure what they're for. They come with the pack. It's definitely not long enough to go through there. Now we have got other screws. I think, you know, let's just get the screws out. I mean, we've got a lot of screws left still. I reckon it's these ones. You get little two diddy ones with you can't really see, but it's got a little thread and then it stops. They, to me, would be the right ones, I think. To push into that hole. I mean, these don't even. These should be over a bit. I mean, look, can you see that? That's the hole there. This hole looks like it goes on an angle. This plane is so random. So random. Yeah, that. So this one, the actual piece here, goes on there. And then this doesn't even go straight. It's got like an angle to it. No. We're going to go with these screws. I can't, you know, I cannot see anything anywhere on the web or anything that shows you what screws. So I know everyone seems to have the same problem with the pushing over and stuff, but you know, let's get it in there. So I'm going to go with these screws. You'll soon see which ones they are. They've got a thread, and then at the end, just before where you screw, it's smooth, so it's like leaves it. Now I'm leaving awful lots of chance here. It's not really fitting in properly at all. Leaving a lot of chance here because this basically holds on the wings as well as the wheels. It doesn't even fit in nice into that square. That's it, pushed in. So once you've got, make sure you're getting both the little struts and the wheels, if you can, in there. Oh, it goes down a bit more in there. I don't know how flat that's meant to go in. Wow. Okay. That's tight on there. Okay. That looks like could be the possible screws. I'm a bit concerned about this. I'm not sure how, if, you know, but, you know, It's all good. It's all good. Oh, hello. Something blown up in the hangar. So this fits under there again. It sits in there. I mean, you could, you know, I don't know. You could play about to your heart's content. Cutting a bit of foam. Let's just get that started before I sanding things down. You know, you can do some real stuff. You see how I'm really manhandling this plane. Poor thing. It's surprised it even flies. No way, man, I'm not flying. You're a brute. So let's see if I can get the holes lined up at least. Again, just screw around in there. I'm looking for the hole. That seems like it's the right hole. And then if I can just push that. Right, clonk. Let's go on in. I mean, it's real fun to push this in. I mean, wow. As I keep saying in all the videos, this is my Friday plane. It really doesn't like to sit in there and say, no, I do not want to sit in there, boy. But it might do. God, this is not one of my favourite, bestest plane in the hangar that you take pride and joy over. But it's nice. Come on, it's pretty. It just doesn't go together even properly. Nice. So what our undercarriage is on our fuselage. I'm really having problems with that word today. But anyway, whatever. You know what I mean. To the body. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure we can mess about with it a bit. I probably will. I'll probably stick some hot glue. As I say, I'm a bit concerned about this little bar that puts in. There is screws. It says put screws there, but unless I'm missing a bit of the undercarriage, which I don't think I am, I'm still not too sure what these 3 screws are for, because they don't. I don't get it. But hot glue, that will work. That will work. But I think we're actually ready for some electronics. We're not going to put the wings on. We will do eventually. We'll build the wings. But maybe I will do that tomorrow. I'm going to sort of like to just spend the springs with some pliers and some hot glue. Just, you know, spend a bit of time, give it a bit of TLC. See if I can make that undercarriage a bit better. But you know, if I actually take the plane off the stand and without stabbing myself with the thing, you know, we're on, you know. But it's going to take tougher landings on that. Can't see anything that's going to rip out. And then the wings obviously go across here. I mean, I do like this plane, you know, it's big. It's a shame about these though. I mean, you know, you don't want to keep unscrewing things, and you saw how hard it was to get the bottom of these in line. You know, I think they could have thought of something a bit better. So, but that will fit in my car, in the boot. The things down, but you can see where I've been, you know, all these little indents where I've had to manhandle the undercarriage, and then obviously, you know, at the back, which you can't see at the moment because it's out of shot. Here's, you know, where we're trying to sort out the tail and everything else. It's a bit sad, really, that we've had to manhandle it. You shouldn't have to manhandle the plane so much, or woman handle, rough, whatever. Yeah, okay, well that's I think that's about it for part 4. Part 5 will be, I think we'll start putting some electronics, get that in there. This won't be the videos for explaining how to bind and all that sort of lovely stuff. We'll just we'll stick it in, stick a battery in, and see if we can get some things going. Get the wing built. Stick it on and see if the transmitter is doing what it should be doing and the plane should be doing. I mean, it's getting close to some sunny days. We get out there and do some flying. Who knows how long this is going to stay in this state. Maybe a crash on the first maiden, who knows. But anyway, thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for you know, following me on this plane. I did want to say actually, but I'll leave it to the beginning of the next video, about, I think I've had 3-4 subscribers. Thanks, Mum. No. I know who they are, and thank you. But you know, subscribe, push the bell if you want to know when the videos are coming up, so you can see all these videos. Unfortunately, I've had a bit of a tough time with this plane. Many people that I do see that I follow don't actually see. You don't see the build part because obviously some of them could be a right pain. But anyway, keep flying and be safe. See ya.